and hello. One day I'm going to work out why I shouldn't film videos at night, and I think it's because the lighting is terrible. However, that day is not today at all. The cat in the hat keeps falling off the wall, which is definitely a state of this year. However, it's October, and this is an unscheduled video because, as I am wont to do, and fairly frequently say things like, here's my plans for the month, and then do something completely different. And then there's been sort of these plans that have been on the go for a few years that have, finally come to fruition. Fruition. Yeah. My brain hurts. So, it's October, or Socktober. And I made a sock. Now, my sock journey has come a long way because some of you, I'm just looking around the room to work out exactly where I've put it, but I think I've filed it. I knitted the world's largest sock. Well, first of all, I knitted a heel, and then I knitted the world's largest sock. And then I figured, right, okay, pull yourself together, Juanita. You can do this. It's time to knit a sock. So I made this sock, and this sock is great. Look at it. Okay, so it's still not perfect. There's definitely things about it that you don't want to look too close at. The Kitchener stitch right there on the toe, definitely not the greatest, but I'm really proud of my sock. So what does one do when one knits a sock? One knits another sock. These are the sock blockers that my father made for me because he bought a laser laser cutter, and I saw them online and I was like, oh, I want some of those, but I hadn't made any socks yet, so I didn't want to buy any. So I said, make me some in a European size 41 so I can put my socks on it when I make them, and I have. So I have a pair of socks. But what's better than a pair of socks, you say? A trio of socks. Yeah, I know, I'm a genius. So this sock was the first sock made, and this sock was the second sock made. They're technically the exact same yarn. However, I showed my husband, and the first thing he said was, they don't match. I mean, kinda he's right, but I think they match. And then I realised there was some wool left over, and I didn't want to waste it. So I made another sock. So I now have a set of 3 socks. So I'm fine in case I either lose a sock or grow another leg. I'm covered. Yeah, so I'm very proud of my socks. I think they're great. I don't know when I'm going to wear them because I don't want to ruin them. I want to show everybody my socks before I put them on my feet. So that's a life struggle and a half. What did I make my socks out of? Well, I used my Zing double-pointed knitting needles. Everybody had said, the magic loop method with the long circulars was a better idea, but I didn't do that. And then I tried the little teeny tiny ones, and I've still got a sock on the go with that, but that takes a while to get your head around. And for some reason, the constant stabbing McStabbing that happens with the double-pointed needles kind of worked for me on this. I could see it all happening, so I made them on these. And they're made out of this here Sock Bandit machine washable sock yarn. Cold wash only, which is great because whoever remembers to use a hot wash anyway. So I had 2 balls of that, and that colour is Sprinkles, Scamper Sprinkles. I've also bought it in an adventure colorway because its name was Adventure, and I got sick of being inside these 4 walls, and the idea of an adventure was exciting. I have exactly, it fell off. I have exactly this much yarn left out of 2 balls. So this was 100 grams of yarn, made 3 socks and a tiny ball. So for my own benefit, really, this is 166 meters. So around about what's that, around 300, just over 300 meters, about 300 meters for 3 socks. So 100 meters a sock. Yeah, that feels about right. Yeah, about 100 meters a sock. So I'm quite excited by it. So they're my socks. Am I going to start making another sock? Yes. Do I need to make another sock? No. Have I ordered more sock yarn? Maybe. Leave me alone. I've ordered more sock yarn. It'll take a while to get here. I'm not going to use up all the sock yarn I have in the meantime. I have ordered some longer interchangeable knitting needles so that I can try it with the knitting 2 socks at once method. And I have got some red socks on the go on my little teeny tiny, is it the, I don't know how to say it, the little chiagu, the teeny tiny needles with the teeny tiny cable in between. But what I do need to do first of all is I need to knit this one up, because this came from Unraveled and I bought it as a kit. So it came with the tiny tiny needles and the yarn and the pattern, but I haven't knit it yet. So I need to start this. I'm probably not going to do it on the teeny tiny needles because I have the Mars Experiment one going on there. So I might have to do it on these until then. Will I write sock knitting patterns? Maybe. Maybe. Not going to be anytime soon because I've knitted 3 socks and I don't think I'm going to be ready to write a sock knitting pattern until I've knitted much more. I also have a lot of sock yarn that needs dealing with. So do I recommend that people knit socks for Socktober? Yes. Do I recommend people knit socks for other reasons? Yes. That's basically it. My Auntie Jo makes socks for my Uncle Paul, and my Uncle Paul swears by them. So if that's not a glowing endorsement as to why people should wear socks or make socks, I don't know what is. Yeah, so I am now officially a woman who knits socks, so that's exciting. Yeah, it's Socktober. What a way to go. I do like my socks. Hopefully when I do my everything I knit in the month of October, there will be more than just 3 socks. Knowing my luck, it's going to be 3.5 socks because I lose interest in making socks at some point, but this is where I'm at. So have a go. Knit a sock. They're not too bad. Yeah.